It's the bypass. It allows you to move the shifter. Hey guys, today's video is going to be on a Chevy Impala that won't come out of park. Check this out. Okay, we're sitting inside a 2008 Chevy Impala and the complaint is that it won't come out of park. So we turn the key on, step on the brake, nothing. And what it is, this button right here will not go in. That button's what allows you to pull this out of park. The problem is down inside here, there's a brake shift interlock solenoid that actuates a release so you can pull this button in and get the car out of park. If this happens to you in a parking lot somewhere and you're trying to get home, you can pop this thing up right here. It won't come all the way out. And then reach your hand. Let's see if I can do this way back in here. I'm pushing the button. I need a third hand. But there's a button down there. I'll show it to you in a minute. You push that button and then you can get this out of park. But we're going to take it apart and we're going to fix it. Oh, look at that. It does come out. Yeah, there we go. Let me try that again. Let's see here. Maybe I can hit it with my arm. Let me put you guys on the stand so you can see. Okay, so if your car won't come out of park, you can pop this thing up. It's just held in with little clips all the way around. And reach your hand down in here on this side. There's a little button. You can push that in. It's hard to find if you got big hands like mine. It's hard to access it, but it is there. And then you can drive it home or drive it to your mechanic shop or whatever. But we're going to pull this off and we're going to fix it. Actually, I can already see the problem. Okay, we are looking straight down at the shifter, way down there, and just, let me see if I can hold the camera still. Right next to that yellow wire is a black wire, and I can see, I don't know if the camera can see it, but there's bare wire showing. And when the shifter moves back and forth, so does that connector, and it kind of drags that wiring harness back and forth. And over time, it looks like that black wire pulled right out of the connector, which would explain why the solenoid's not working. So we're going to pull it apart here and fix her up. Okay, we're going to remove the center console, and to do that, we've got a couple of accessory plug-ins or cigarette lighters up there. We have 2 screws here, and then we're going to have, I think, 4 screws inside of here. And they're all Phillips head screws. There should be 4 in here. Well, got some money. Oh. So there's 4 Phillips screws in the bottom of this and another 12-volt power outlet. So right here in front of the shifter is a connector that disconnects the, well, at least the back 12 volt outlet. I don't know about the front ones. We'll find out here in a second. Yeah, it takes all of them off. Okay. Come here, I want to show you something. Okay, so this button right here is that button I was talking about. You reach your hand down in here, that silver button, you won't be able to see it, but you can feel it. If you push that in, it's the bypass. It allows you to move the shifter. But if you watch right there, you can see how that harness flexes back and forth as you move the shifter. I don't know if you can pick it up. Maybe it's too much light. Let me tone the light down here. Right there you can see on that black wire where it's pulled out of the connector. So we're going to pull that apart and fix it. Okay, so this is a view looking straight down just to the right of the shifter. Here's the passenger seat right here, and here's the shifter. This plug, I already got the plug out. It was kind of a pain in the butt because you have to push this in. It goes in like this right here. You can't get at that because it's buried in that plastic. So I just use this little pick to go in there and push on that and wrestle it out of there. I have another car out in the boneyard here that I could probably take apart and cut the connector out, but I'm going to try to fix this one first. And I think I might be able to take it apart, and this isn't even soldered, that's just crimped in there. So if there's no damage to the terminal, if I can get the terminal out, I'll just solder that back in place. And we should be good to go. So this little blue lock ring is what, or retainer piece here, is what holds those from coming out. And there's little ears on each side. If you just use a little pick tool, looks like maybe I might be able to get it out of here. Oh, there we go. It slides out. Okay. That's that one right there. Boy, that's small. This is going to be too fat to go down in there, so I've got a T-pin. I think I bought it at a craft store or something a long time ago, back in the dealership days. I'm going to try to stick it in there on the top. Well, it'll be the bottom side the way I'm looking at it. Try to disengage that little lock clip. Oh, I got it. Got it. First try. Alright, let's see here. Come on, buddy. Oh, look at that. I got it. Alright. So yeah, it just simply pulled right out of the end of that. Well, I'm going to go get my solder gun, and I'm going to put some solder on this little guy and see if I can put her back together. I'll get my solder gun before I drop this thing. So, upon closer inspection, I don't know if you can see that or not. Come on, focus. And it doesn't want to focus. The wire didn't just pull out, it actually broke. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Right inside here where it's crimped really tight, you can still see the copper strands of wire. That's kind of a bummer, but nonetheless I'm gonna put the wire through this little end piece here, and I'm gonna lay some good solder in there and see if I can get her stuck together. If I can't, then I'll go pull that other clip off that junk car and just solder the wires, but I'd rather not do that. So let's see, this guy goes in like that. We want to try to orientate it, is that the right word? So that there's not a twist in the wire when we put her back together. And I feel like that's just going to fall when I let go of it. What do you guys think? You think it's going to fall? I think it's going to fall into the carpet and I'm going to be mad. Alright, hang on a second. I'm putting this paper towel down in case I drop that little terminal end. Hopefully it'll fall on this and I'll be able to retrieve it. Let's see, that goes down. She's a little warm still. We'll let that cool off for a second here. Just want to give it a little tug test, make sure that that wire's not going to fall apart. Alright. Okay. I think I'm going to get a little piece of shrink tubing to put over that, just so there's no bare wire exposed. Okay, now when we put the terminal back in, we want to make sure that the locking tab is facing down. And it is, because that's how I soldered it. So, let me have a look here. Let's see here. Yep. Okay, it's all the way in, it's seated. Let's put our little blue locking plate back in place. Okay. Alright, let's give her a try. They really should have put a little more slack in that harness. just not enough in there. I can already tell it's going to work. Can you hear that when I step on the brake pedal? That's the solenoid that was supposed to... Yep. That's the solenoid clicking. It's fixed. Cool. I still don't like the fact that there's not much play in that wiring. So if you have a Chevy Impala, or maybe even any General Motors vehicle, and you can't get it out of park, that's a good place to check. If you found this video helpful, give me a thumbs up. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Check out my other content. If you have a Chevy Impala with issues, I have videos. Thanks for watching. I appreciate the support.